welcome back to our channel. Today we are interviewing our family here. I will let you guys introduce yourselves.
And shalom, family. It's your brother Mikael.
Sister Amina.
And we are keeping up with the Africades.
Awesome, yes. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. It's going to be linked in the description box. So we are in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. How long have you guys been here?
It'll be 90 days on the 30th of this month.
Okay, awesome. Okay. And what made you pick Tanzania specifically?
Well, definitely got to give all praise to the Most High, who guides all man's footsteps. So for us, we've been planning to come to Africa, specifically to Ghana, about 3 years. We actually took our first trip to Africa October 2018, where we was in Ghana for about 2 weeks.
2.5.
Yeah, two and a half weeks, which was really a huge thing. 'Cause even having to go to Ghana was literally spiritual warfare.
Wow.
And so we knew then that it was a purpose for us to come to Africa. I mean, like the paperwork, the passports, like literally 4 days before we left, we had got a call from the Ghana embassy saying pretty much that they couldn't give us our passports back. And if they sent it back, we wouldn't get it until that following Friday. We left that Tuesday. And so, at that moment, I'm like, man, this is becoming too difficult, to go. So my wife, like, let's pray on it. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. So she had called me back. I guess she just got done praying. She's like, look, call them and see if we can go pick it up. So luckily, by the grace of the Most High, the lady said, yeah, we can go pick it up. So we literally, it was like the eve of Shabbat.
Yeah.
And we drove from Atlanta to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
A 9-hour drive to go get that passport.
Yes.
And going to Ghana, we realized while we were there, the information we found out, for those who haven't been to Africa and those who really read the scriptures, right. When you read the scriptures, if you have not been to the place where our people was, you only have a sense of imagining, what it was, how they lived. Being over here, it's to the point you don't really need the book. You see it. You see everything within the Torah. And so for us, it blew our mind because we really saw Torah playing out within the community. Even talking to the Ashanti tribe, we actually got to do an interview with them. It was actually on our page, And a brother said, we believe that we're the ancient Israelites from Mesopotamia.
Right.
Wow.
This very necklace is this is a whole other story, but it's very spiritual to me of how I got this necklace. But it was connected to the Ashantis who proclaim that they are part of the kingdom of Judah that migrated to West Africa. Yeah. So that journey alone was very spiritual. And then shout out to Daniel. I think his YouTube was like Connect You to Africa. He was our tour guide. And how he did it was he gave us the whole Ghana experience. So it wasn't just tourism areas. We got to actually go into the jungle.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, we did tour a safari. We actually got to stay in the jungle. We got to go into the communities. We saw the slave castles and everything. So we got the fullness of Ghana. I think we visited like 7 different areas or regions in Ghana alone.
Right.
So wow.
Yeah, it was a very great experience. So from that point, I'm like, we got to be here. Like, this is where we got to be. So we didn't know how we was about to do it. We didn't know what it looked like. I just know I was determined that we were going to go. And I let my wife get her experience on that before we go into how we got here.
We initially wanted to go to Ghana. Before we got here, he changed it. He said, we're going to Tanzania. Okay. And I was like, okay. But going to Ghana definitely was beneficial to me because it was what I needed to break through the mental mindset of being able to come here and actually get my feet wet first, because I think the Most High knew that I was going to need to get my feet wet a little bit. So by the time he was ready, it was divine. So we just moved in spirit. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was literally to this year, January, we was planning on going to Ghana the following year.
Right.
Oh.
And so from January to the time it got revealed to come here, it was Ghana. We built the whole network there. We knew people. We had everything set up. And so, I just wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision. I didn't want to feel like I was being moved by my own understanding or my own way. So we actually did, our tribe did a 5-day fast
Okay.
Yeah, dry fast, no water,
Oh, wow,
no food,
yeah.
no nothing, dry fast. And so one of my prayers in that was, show me what you want me to do. Do you want me to stay here? Am I supposed to be in Ghana? And so once we broke the fast, and one of the things too, the key things was I asked for specific things to let me know I'm going to Africa.
Yes.
And the specific thing was, I don't want to receive a vision. I want you to send it to these specific people. And my wife being one of them.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the Most High delivered and sent a vision to every last person I asked. Every
Wow.
last person. But you know us, we need more convincing. So I'm like, okay.
Right.
I did, you gave it to us, but I just need one more.
Right.
So I asked, I said, I remember it was on Shabbat day, and I said, okay, show me how you want me to go, where you want me to go. And like I said, within an hour and a half, Brother Stephen, who was with Stepping Stone's home, called me within an hour and a half and said, look, my wife had a vision last night.
Wow.
She saw you and your wife building Africa. Not only Africa, but building Tanzania.
Wow.
And I told him on the phone, I said, bro, I'm about to cry. I just got done praying. Just got done praying for this. So I don't even know what to say to you right now. I'm gonna call you back.
Wow, yes.
So I got off, I was praising, I was praying, I called my wife in, I said, look, it's time to go. I got the clearance. So she like, okay. So what does that look like? I said, I don't know, but we going.
Yeah.
I said we gonna shoot for July. And it seemed like once we committed, everything started opening up for us and everything started closing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of things going on. And so I thought, it was just us that was going through this hard time. But after watching you all, after watching my other brother Zai, who was in Ghana, watching T3 and me, and our other family, Micah and Cara, and just hearing what they went through, we know their story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know like them in and out. So for them to be here is only by the power of the Most High.
Yeah.
And so that was one of our motivations. Is like, okay, this is something we got to go through. And I'm realizing that that's the proving. Like once you commit with your mouth, now you got to commit with your heart. And so we were going through a lot of things getting to this point. And we were preparing for our actual wedding ceremony at the same time. So that stress level alone was very high.
Yeah.
Right.
Very high. So I mean, we had our battles. I mean, literally to the point we left.
Wow.
It was only when we started actually going to Ethiopia that everything finally stopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, leaving from Georgia to Chicago, and mind you, we're a family of a total of 8. Now we have 7 children total, but 6 only came.
Okay.
And so we didn't know. They didn't tell us that our bag or the check-in bags that we had in Chicago that we had to take with us to transfer them over to the Ethiopian Airlines, and we had to stay overnight. And they said we couldn't stay in the airport.
Right.
So we had about 29 luggages. And mind you, out of 7 of us, only 4 of us can carry it.
Wow, yeah.
So, that was a real heavy test on the mind to the point. And I'm very strong-willed.
Right.
But at that moment, I had a moment of like wanting to give up. I'm like, this is very hard. I don't know why it's extremely hard. I mean, it was so hard to the point. Not only once we got in Chicago, this third-party company that the airline suggested got our money for the so-called hotel. I had to shut down my bank card that had the money on there.
Wow.
And then we had to call an Uber, who literally came, and we had the XL truck, and he saw us in our bag,
And
left, and he told us we had to pay.
Yeah.
And so
He was tripping.
our flight the next day, we had to be at the airport 5 in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning.
We had maybe 6.
No, we had somewhere around
Something
there.
like that.
And
Early.
so,
Yeah.
and so when he came, it was like 11 something at night. Remember, we already struggled trying to get to this hotel, so it already took hours. I'm talking about to the point that she literally had the baby on the concrete, having to change his diaper.
Oh, wow.
So we had to call another Uber. So then that Uber said, I only could take some of y'all. So it's about 12 something at night, and it's just me and my daughter with these 8 bags. So we called an Uber. I waited 20 minutes again, and then all of a sudden he canceled. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like becoming extremely difficult right now.
Yeah.
And so we finally got a Uber finally like 2 something in the morning, and we had to be up at 4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, we had to be up at 4, and I'm just like, man, this Most High, just please just keep me balanced. Right now, we just frustrated. We tired, we frustrated, children frustrated. It was a lot. And so luckily the next day we got grace, and we had to call 2 Ubers. So we made sure we called 2 Ubers at the same time. Luckily, they were generous enough to wait on one another. So we was able to leave and go to the airport together. They even took our bags out for us and everything. So it was smooth. And so, that was like a real hard fight for us. And we see being here now with all of these beautiful diasporans here, why? And we understand it's the adversary. The adversary don't want us to come here. Because if we come here and we have that intelligent mind, that God mind to build and recreate, like our forefathers did coming out of Egypt, and they know it's game over.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now. So that's pretty much how we got here was the Most High leading our footsteps.
Yes,
I'm talking about financially, spiritually, psychologically, everything. That's how we got here.
Yeah.
Yes. Hallelujah. So I have a question about Ghana. How should I word this? What's the difference between Ghana and Tanzania for those watching that are trying to choose between West Africa and East Africa?
You want to answer?
You can definitely break it down. I can say from my point of view, off the top of my head, like the fashion is different.
Okay.
If you go there, they dress differently. It's a little bit more. No, it's a lot more fashionable. The colors are a lot more vibrant. It's a little bit more modernized as well.
Okay.
So here it's kind of relaxing to know that it's not so focused on fashion. Like looking nice is cool,
right.
but you can be relaxed. You can be comfortable. It's not like the forefront of the importance. So I like that because I like to chill. So that's nice. The English is different here. We thought that would be a little bit more English. In Ghana, they speak a lot of English, so you don't have to have it's not such a demand to know the language like that. So, that's good and bad. But here we can at least appreciate that. Okay, for us to respect the culture, like we got to learn the language. We have to get in with the locals. Like it's not just a vacation and people are catering to us. Like we part of the the country. So. It's just peaceful. I mean, Ghana was amazing. Ghana was very comfortable, but Tanzania has a different vibe. It has a different flow. It truly slows you down whether you like it or not. And at first it was frustrating, but it does give you a sense of like, just relax, like chill out. Like Netflix and chill is different here because you literally get to chill, and it's nice to feel like you can just take a breather. My mother asked me yesterday, like, what time is it? Like, I don't know.
Right.
Why do I need to know? I don't know. I'm going through my day. Whatever I get done, I'll look at the time at some point. But coming from the States, everything is like, okay, got to get up at this time, got to do that, got to get that taken care of. Kid, you're stressed out about so much, and I just find a lot of peace and calm being here versus Ghana was more of a vacation experience for us. So it's going to be different regardless. But it feels nice to be here and to be able to just breathe and listen to the animals and listen to the air and breathe in good air, and it feels nice. It feels calm and peaceful here because we're really adapting to the culture here.
Awesome.
And then I would say it depends on why you come to Africa, on what you choose. If you want to relax and kick your feet up, and not to say that that's what Ghana is doing, but it feels that good that you can get caught up in it. So if you want to kind of relax and just chill and hang around, then Ghana would be the place because it's literally a tourist country now. And it literally does at this point caters to majority of our needs in America, because to a degree, I do want to say I do love Ghana, but to a degree it's become westernized. And so it's like a party, you know what I'm saying? Everything is entertainment to a degree. It's a party.
Right.
So if you're looking for that, then that'd be the place to go. You know what I'm saying? I understand this because it's a party. Prices are going up now. So don't be surprised if you're paying prices something very similar to America. You know what I'm saying? That's just from my own research of looking at Ghana. And now over here, if you want to rebuild, you want to build something and put your hands to the plow, then Tanzania is it. You know, and that's the beautiful. It's very fertile and naked to a degree. Now you got Dar es Salaam, it's a city, of course, but even within Dar es Salaam in different parts, it still needs major development that can still be influenced by the culture.
Right.
So it's not so much westernized over here. You have certain parts, mainly the Western ideologies or methods is within the government. But as far as the people, most of the people, like she was saying, on Ghana, you can see the expression of their culture. You can see their outward expression. But here, you wouldn't be able to tell that they're practicing culture unless you talk to them.
Right.
And so that's been my experience. I've seen more cultural practice here than over there, but as far as cultural appearance, it's more over there than over here.
Wow.
So that's been, that's where I appreciate that, and it actually made me humble myself talking to a local. I asked them, I said, you know, why don't you all, like, what's y'all tribal wear? Like, what's y'all traditional culture? Because I see in Ghana that, you know, they express themselves, they wear the jewelry, they wear their cultural colors and fabrics. And so he kind of when I asked that question, it's almost in a sense he got offended, but then he kind of held back because he like, maybe I don't understand. So he's like, look, I'll explain it to you. He said that's just an appearance. You know, that's what they're entertaining those who are coming to visit.
Wow.
And he's been to Ghana.
Wow.
He said they're entertaining. He said, but if you go into the depths of their culture and tradition, a lot of them don't practice the ancient ways of their ancestors.
Wow.
As over here, you may see us dress a certain way, and that's due to colonization.
Right.
But as far as the moral code and the ways that we live in traditions, we very well much keep that.
Yes.
He said, that's the difference. I told him, I said, I thank you for that. He said, because now I better understand.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just thought y'all just kind of, from the outward look, it looked like y'all don't practice it.
Right.
So, but now that you explained it, I very well understand it. And so that's what I would say. It just depends on what you want to do. Like, are you here to build Africa? Or are you here to just chill? Get away from the enemy. You know, but you can't get away from the enemy within. So if you had that lazy spirit, you can't run from the lazy spirit. Whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in Europe, Australia, you can't run away from that enemy. So it depends on why are you here? What is your purpose of being here? What do you want to bring to Africa? You know, 'cause we all talk about Africa, but Mama Africa still need help too. So that's what I would say the difference is.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good perspective. I think that's really good because most people are looking between Gambia, Ghana, Tanzania, and Rwanda.
Right.
So that gives them the perspective that they need to make a decision. That's awesome. So what advice do you guys have for a couple that has children? Because we interview people that don't have children, and then we interview people that don't have as many children as us and you guys. So what advice do you have for them if they want to move abroad, if they want to come to Africa, if they just want to escape Babylon?
I'm gonna let her answer. I believe when it comes to this, especially dealing with children, that mothers have a greater perspective of that because they're in the aspect that, you know, usually it's the mothers getting the clothes ready and all that. So I'm gonna let her go because, you know, that was, you know, with me having to work and do other things, that was really her focus on getting the children together. So that big portion was, you know, she was dealing. So I'm gonna let her speak on that.
It was a lot, so some of it is foggy. But so preparing to come here, we made sure that we didn't want like big bags. We weren't trying to bring a lot. All of our children had carry-on bags. So we traveled very light for all the children, even the baby. Like even when it comes to diapers, I was like, okay, we can get it there. We can do this, we can do that. So I was really focused on not having too many bags because we have very young children. And we didn't want to, I mean, even though it was so stressful still, because we probably could have did it with a little bit, we could have packed a little differently. But getting prepared for them to come and them trying to get them to understand where we are going, because they've never been to Africa. So getting them to get the mindset to understand this is not going to be the same thing. You can't go over there being spoiled. You can't go over there trying to practice your disrespect. You can't go over there thinking that you are better than anybody, that you have the right to have certain things. No, you need to humble yourself. You need to get yourself in the right mindset, because this is a different lifestyle. And we can't go over there, you know, because we're portrayed as that in some cases. So we try to make it very clear to please be humble when you come over here. But getting them together, I mean, we left a lot when it came to preparing them to come. But traveling with so many children, whenever we travel with our children, there's just a few things that we make sure to have when traveling internationally. We make sure that they have their bags of like a whole day's worth of food, so that we don't have to deal with that. Packing light, making sure we freeze everything, like if we need, because we have an infant as well, so we make sure to freeze our stuff. And then coming here and looking for a home. Everyone has different luxuries and different people have different comforts. One of my comforts was, even though I'm open to it and I have done it, wash by hand, I knew one of the things that I wanted coming here is a washing machine. There's 8 of us. It's very difficult to wash 8 people's clothes, little babies, they're throwing up and pooping all over the place. That was one of the things that in looking for a home, I know that I needed as a mom, that's what I wanted. So little things like that, or even having enough.
Which she did get her experience when we first got here.
Sure did. That's all. And they were excited. They're like, "Oh, hand washing's fun." It's only been 3 days.
3 days.
Okay, it's only been 3 days. And everyone's different. And again, there's different. You know, here squatters for the toilets are very common. You know, it's not really a big deal. And we were able to experience that. But I just knew that I wanted options of both. If we were going to come here, that was our preference for our family. We've got little babies and boys. They don't really know how, you know, it just was easier for us and a little bit more convenient for us to prepare for the children, for the sanity of the bathroom, to have options or to have a toilet just for our transition when it comes to that. As far as homeschool, I wish I would have brought more books. I thought that we would have had more access to educational things for homeschool. I prepared sort of, but I left a lot of things that I actually had to end up rebuying, and it's actually a little bit more expensive here in doing that because they import everything. So I wish I would have prepared a little bit better with the books and the education. We still do like computer systems for their schooling, so that works out. But as far as like the paper goods, it's a little bit difficult for us to get it and to try to go and get it. Like it would be different if you could just go to a Walmart or Office Depot. It's not like that. So if you need to print things, if you need things written out, it's a little bit different of a process. So I could have been a little bit more prepared in their homeschooling. Yeah,
and that's another thing too, because especially depends on how you parent. You know, as y'all know, their rules for school is different. And so we didn't know that. Well, we knew certain things, but once we got over here, certain things we didn't know. So that kind of pushed us back further from registering our children in school. So now that left us, okay, now we actually really do got to do homeschool again. And so I would say, you know, as my uncle told me, don't rush your children right into school. Let them get adapted to the culture and homeschool. So there's going to be materials that you absolutely need for homeschooling. Because, you know, everybody, you know, preference of school is different. And so, you know, one of the things is certain schools that girls got to shave their head. And so we got girls. We don't want them to shave their head. That's against our instruction, you know, period. And then you got some schools that believe in spanking your children. And even those schools have different methods of spanking. So it depends. So if you're that type of parent and you're coming from the system where your children were in school, that's something you got to consider. If you come in here, you may have to actually homeschool your children. And I think the homeschool material here is more expensive than at home. So now you got to pay more here for homeschool materials than there. And those are all things that you really got to consider, especially with children coming over here. The education, the clothes, their actual needs. Because, you know, this made me think about the old, I call them an originator of African YouTubers, Native Born. So we watched them. I mean, I watched them like a religion before I went to Ghana. Like a whole year. So, you know, I would say I know their journey pretty well. but seeing like what they went through and how they didn't have certain things for their child to the point that they had to go back to America.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things I thought about. It's like, okay, I want to make sure that we have all we need. But again, because we didn't put the other variables as far as like, you know, whipping and and cutting their hair, we just thought we was gonna come over here and put them in school. So those are all the things you got to know so that you can be prepared for it.
Yeah.
We could have, we could have saved a lot of money. Wow. We already had the stuff.
Yeah, we literally gave it away, threw it away.
Sure.
And then also picking out help for the house. We want to make sure that with having help, our kids don't get lazy. We still have a chore sheet. We still got responsibilities. We still have to follow through with certain things. So that was we waited a couple months before we even had anybody come and help us because we want to make sure that our kids are still grounded in knowing, okay, this is what you do and you are no bum. And these women and men are coming to help us. But that does not mean that they take your job over. So we were able to get comfortable with being here first and then incorporating help, which is more so to help me, you know, instead of the kids, because, you know, for one tiny second, they were like, oh, well, you know, the doctor's coming. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're not here for you. You make your own step. And there's certain rules that we have that we don't even allow our help to do because we still want to stay humble. We still want to work together as a team instead of just feeling like we're coming over here and we're just, you know, we have the mindset of, oh, we have service. No, we don't. We have people that are helping us and we're grateful for that. But we make sure to keep ourselves grounded and we keep our children humble when it comes to even hiring people to help us and understanding what their role is and what our children's role still is in that. And just as far as we're getting used to a lot of other things as far as like having a big family and getting used to them being outside and being free. And, even the locals, how they're so loving and affectionate with your children. Like we're not used to that. Somebody touch your kids in Georgia, you like, why are you touching my baby? But we've gotten very we have an understanding that people love the children here. So we love the big family. When we walk through, everybody kind of look at us kind of nuts because we got to walk in a straight line. Like we gotta do some stuff. But learning and with them and going through life like this is very fun because we're all learning together. We're all learning the numbers. So by the time they're older, this will be easy for them. It won't be a transition. And transportation. If you have a big family. And transportation. Man, we are in the car like
Mexicans. We were about saving money. I don't mind lapping up. You know what I'm saying? Front seat,
it's a little packed. It's a little packed. So we actually ended up spending a lot more in transportation because of all the transporting we had to do versus like if we had maybe planned a little bit better, we would have tried to get a car maybe immediately and then have a driver drive us with our car if we had thought about it and planned that out.
Or even having it imported here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We didn't even, I mean, we kind of talked about it, but I think because we assumed it may be a lot cheaper and easier at the time to do that. But now that we here, we like
transportation is still feels very American.
Especially like I
very
said,
expensive.
And the reason for that is because
fuel.
The fuel and we're entrepreneurs. So you got to keep going to get materials. That's a lot of trips that you got to take.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to consider all that.
That's true.
And we didn't think about that. We literally didn't think about that. And so that was another portion of why I started the courses. We like, okay, we need materials for this because we still doing business here. Right. We got our online business. We still got our little store that my family pretty much is taking over in the States. And so, you know, a lot of that stuff still takes a lot of material. We still got to ship, and shipping is a whole nother process. Wow. We can talk about another time, but that's a whole day in itself. And so depending, and that's another thing, now you got to figure out, you got a good driver going to give you a good price. Now luckily we end up having to find out over time, but we end up finding one who did give us a good price, you know, per hour. But if like for a trip to the post office and then having to take the steps to even get your stuff legalized to get shipped off, that alone take a whole day. You can be you leaving at 9 a.m. You may not get back to 5 p.m. Now you up 100,000 T-shillings.
Right, so you could spend $40 to $50 a day. Easy. So you have to And don't take the whole family. And don't need a van. I mean, don't.
Yeah.
Big families is a
van
different
too.
of a struggle. And now that we have a daughter, we actually have 2 daughters, which is a helper.
Now we gotta make room
If
for that.
we have to bring them, that means we literally have upped our expenses in getting a bigger car because we were maybe able to suffer through. But now we can't be having, we can't do that to our.
It's definitely a benefit either
helper.
to import your car
Sure.
or just plan
Be
on
prepared to
buying
buy
one. Yeah,
one.
be prepared to
Yeah.
buy one. And it's not
Yeah.
like too expensive. If you have somebody, a good local, who gonna really look out for you, it's not really expensive. But I would say by the time you 3 months here, you probably could have just bought a car.
You could have bought a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have bought a car.
Yeah.
So big families are cool. It's fun, but it is pricey.
Yeah.
And then figuring out like how to budget. We're still learning how to budget for the whole family when it comes to like the food and when it comes to our bills, because everybody pays the bills differently.
Yeah.
And like I said again, it depends on your luxuries. So sometimes we want the air conditioner on. I'll take your electricity out different. So instead of you thinking that you're gonna spend $50 a month on electricity, you spend the $200 because you want to be comfortable. So it really depends on how you choose to live. How much even our internet, it varies. We're always buying internet because we're working so much. Our children, they want to, it.
Yeah, so it depends. But I think that's another thing too, is like with that spending or depending on your lifestyle, what are you doing to bring income in?
Yeah.
And I think from my experience, half of the diasporans I've talked to don't have that plan. And that's why you'll see these mad diasporans on YouTube. Oh, Africa did this or Tanzania treated like this. If you actually talk to them, a lot of them just didn't have a plan, and they didn't know how to work with the system. And so you may, I mean, just like anywhere else, you got some bad apples, so they're gonna try you.
Yeah.
So if you're not in that space or you don't know how to deal with people like that, and you just kind of naive, you're gonna keep giving your people money, not thinking that this money, you actually need this money. So those are things that you really gotta consider, like, what are you gonna do while you're here? I know y'all know, one of the questions they probably ask y'all when y'all do your consultations is, how much do I need to save?
Right.
It's like, I tell them, you never have enough, but you need to figure out how do you make money while here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I heard some crazy story, brother come over $50. And now he's making a lot of money now. I was like, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? Brother came over $500 before and making thousands of dollars now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brother came over with, I think, $5,000, got land and built a house now. So he didn't.
People come over with $20,000 and then run out of money and have to go back home.
Yeah. So
The plan.
you can see that there's something going on. The difference between these people ain't the money, it's your intent and why you're here. That's another thing. So depending on your lifestyle, you need to figure out how you're gonna make money.
Yes. Well, this was a great interview. I like all the topics we touched on because I was actually thinking about all these things and making a video about all these things. And y'all just, I love that. This was the perfect interview. So I want to leave links to your business in the description. Can you share the name of your businesses?
Oh yeah. So our first business, I'm an herbalist, by the way. So I deal with healing any type of chronic disease you're dealing with, any type of illness, anything like that, we pretty much do, and everything holistic from soap to creams to natural oils for your hair, your skin. I'm trying to figure out how to make toothpaste, but I ain't got that down just yet.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, we're trying to figure out everything holistic. We pretty much bring to the table. We actually just got one of our businesses registered called Itemized Herb and Juice Bar. So y'all stay tuned for that. So that's gonna be pretty much dealing with herbs and raw foods.
Okay.
So we want to bring that new to Tanzania because we realize a lot of illnesses here, and a lot of it is due to health and what they're eating. So we want to bring something new. So one of our online businesses is called the Edenic Experience. So it's TheEdenic experience.org. And so if you're looking for herbs, herbal compounds, we got juices coming soon. If you're looking for even consultations to learn how to heal naturally, we offer that too. My wife also has a business called Styles of Salaamah LLC, which deals with cultural clothing, which we got some new stuff coming out. If y'all seen the garment we had at the pop-up shop, that's gonna be one of the ones we put online. So it's dealing with like the caftan she got on. I'll let you talk more about that.
Well, we have dresses, we have jewelry. We
Show
do.
me the jewelry.
Well, I make rings, I make necklaces, we sell earrings, dresses. Certain things have changed just a little bit because we don't have the access to all the materials here, but definitely still trying to keep up with fashion, keeping up with culture, and just clothing, really, bring a little of our style here. Keeping it cute, keeping it modestly dope.
So the website for that is www.stylesofsolomon.com. So you're looking for herbs, you're looking for cleansing, detoxing, we got that. And actually, now we mentioned, we actually in the works of starting up. So one of the plans we have besides the herbal restaurant is opening up a healing center.
Yes.
Oh wow,
So,
that's awesome.
We actually put in the works last week. We just budgeted right now. And we gonna, once we really solidify exactly where we gonna really settle down at, but we in the works of doing a healing room. So for anybody who wants to come detox, and we show them literally how to juice, we show them how to make herbs, we show them pretty much the ins and outs of the body. Where you want to get healed, it's gonna start at a minimum of 14-day healing room. So dealing with meditation, learning how to cleanse the mind so the body can also cleanse itself. So those are some of the things that we're gonna be bringing to Tanzania.
Yes, that's
a spa,
exciting.
mental spa.
Yes.
So we actually gonna be doing a fundraiser for that really soon. So.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, okay. Well, make sure y'all send the link because this video is gonna be up and we can just drop that.
Oh yeah,
description box too.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah. So that wraps up the interview. Is there anything else you guys want to say to our audience?
So I would say, if you see people who come here, especially diasporans, and left, I guarantee it's because they really wasn't sent here, and they were moving on their own motive. Because nobody, the Most High doesn't do anything without having purpose behind it. So you come in here and get sent home, regardless, believe it or not, regardless, you had a bad time, you lost money, or you just can't find your place, probably because you actually wasn't sent here. It don't mean necessarily that you're not meant to be here. You probably just wasn't on your own time and you're doing your own will. So that's what I would really highly suggest. Like, you coming here, you better know why you coming here, what you coming here for, and who sent you.
And I would say, from a wife's perspective and a mother, make sure that you are in compliance to what your husband is trying to do. Because in this particular situation, my husband was the one that was leading this force, and I had to support it. Otherwise, I could have thrown him off completely. So before coming here, I would say really get stabilized and have a great foundation with your family and with your husband. Just because when you get here, you are all that you got. Like, you are depending on each other. And a little argument back in the States, you can kind of distract yourself. Here, it really forces you to face your problem. So if there's anything that is a problem, it's magnified. If there's anything going on with your children, if there's any behavior issues, it's magnified because now we're here and now we have to deal with this. So I would say get your family together, get your stuff in order, and just make sure that you mentally, besides just thinking that you have to deal with vain things, get your mental together and understand. Come here with an open heart. Don't come here if you're trying to come to take over and to have a spirit of how America is, because or anywhere that really teaches you to be individual versus coming here to be a help. So you have to have that foundation. You have to have the foundation with your family to be okay with that in order to be functioning properly. If I'm frustrated, I mess up the whole system. I mess up everything. So I know from my perspective, I need to have myself centered and be okay with being in submission to what Yah's telling me to do through my husband. So I know that specifically for our family was what my test was. He was like, "What do you do?" When I tell him, I give him the green light. He said, "You would," and you see what you do. So I know that's, if you're a when it comes to knowing why you come here. Just like my husband said, come here knowing why you come here and knowing what that lane is for every single person. We told every single one of our kids, down to the baby, this is why you're doing this. This is what your purpose is. This is why you're coming here. You're just as important for all of us. So don't come here thinking that you're going to be the rotten apple. There is no rotten apples. We all have to be good. We all have to be healthy for us to function as a family. So we're really trying to work as a team. And, it's been challenging at first because you leave everything that you're comfortable with, everything that is a support system. You're on your support. Even though we have friends and family, it's still your household got to be in order. So that's what I would say. Make sure your house is in order. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Have your house in order. Long story short.
And that's the key. We sit here to build. So as we've been sharing in the group, is that you gotta have your house in order. Your house gotta be your first ministry. Because once we come together, our problems will be your problem. Your problem will be our problem. And if y'all not centered with each other, there's no possible you can be centered with us, and vice versa. And so, and that we were speaking for the video, that's one of those things that why we can't come together as a black community is because we're not centered at home first. And so that's one of the things that we want to really focus on, especially as we are growing, we are all healing, coming from this thing. We want to really focus on healing and restoring things so that when it's really time to meet, there will be no creases or no cracks in our wall. When it comes to other families, it's going to be more unified wall. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Just make sure that y'all are on the book because Africa's going to expose you.
Oh yeah.
For the good or for the bad, Africa's going to expose you. You're going to really see you really here to build it. That's just the truth. So I would definitely say don't pay attention to nobody who having these negative experiences going back home. I'm telling you, probably 110%. Most I did not see. So, be honest, so yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that was it. Y'all want to say bye to the fam?
Shalom, family. Peace, love, light, prosperity.
Shalom.